And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Eludes. Now, under normal circumstances, I would not be doing an intro for this new series of videos, but I did want to do an intro so I could talk about it. I'm going to start doing, and obviously this is episode number 1, 5-minute card reviews. And we're starting with Takeoff Victor Oladipo. So, he does have point guard eligibility, which does give him a boost for sure. He's sitting at about 45,000 MT right now on Xbox, which it's a little bit high, certainly, but Oladipo is a pretty good card normally, so let's kind of take a look at him. 6'4", but if you guys know anything about Oladipo in game, he always looks a little bit bigger than 6'4". Him and Oscar Robertson always look significantly bigger than their player build would actually tell you. That's typically the case, and that's the case with some other guys too. Like Anton Jameson always looks smaller than 6'8", even though he's 6'8". You know what I mean? 97 offense, 99 defense. Stats wise, I mean, he's pretty much well rounded. I mean, you get a 95 3-point shot with his release, which is the same as like Jalen Green's, which is really, really solid. 88 free throws, kind of his only like downside. It's not really going to come into effect very often, but it is important to know that he's not the greatest free throw shooter if you do run him at the point guard, which he's pretty solid at doing. 98 driving dunk, 90 ball handle, really solid. 96 steal, 95 perimeter defense, fantastic. His rebound stats are even up for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about, but whatever. 96 speed, 96 with ball and acceleration. Solid. 98 vertical. My man is getting up there. Absolute boom town. I don't know why I just said that. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody that was offended by the word boom town. 97 lateral quickness. Yeah, I mean, everything's really overall solid, and we're at the point of the year where reviewing stats really doesn't mean anything for majority of players. It really comes down to badges and tendencies. Now, Victor Oladipo's got 96 pass intercept, 95 on-ball steal, 90 shot contest. Those are all really, really good for either a point guard or a shooting guard, which he can play both of those positions really solid. 65 crash tendency. I did want to talk about that one because that obviously is going to be the tendency of which they crash the boards. And depending on your play style and depending what you want your point guard or shooting guard to do, that could either be a good thing or a bad thing. It really kind of depends. Other tendencies to really look at would be his flashy dunk tendency, which is at a 95. That's not exactly ideal. Flashy dunks this year do tend to get blocked way, way, way more than regular dunks. His 3-point tendency is always important to look at too, because sometimes when a card has a low 3-point tendency, a good example of this would be Russell Westbrook specifically. The CPU will kind of sag off and not really care if they're going to shoot threes. So 74 is enough where the CPU is kind of going to go a little bit wild in regards to defense. So badges. Catch and shoot on Hoff, which is fantastic. I mean, his release is really, really solid. Like, I don't mind it at all. It's 95 on quick. Same as Jalen Green, Paul Arizin. Everybody was lapping up Paul Arizin's release, but the minute like Oladipo and Jalen Green come out, everyone just says it's mid. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, fearless finisher, acrobat, both solid enough badges. He does have Hoff pickpocket, Hoff pick dodger, Hoff clamps, interceptor, intimidator, so he's an excellent defender. Posterizer, off-ball pest, which is good. People sleep on off-ball pest, but it's literally the badge that makes the style of defense that we all know and love occur nowadays. So it's kind of important to have. Limitless spot up on Hoff too, so he's going to be able to stroke from deep. Quick first step, sniper. I almost said limitless first step. Ankle braces, limited takeoff. Like, everything's really solid in regards to Oladipo's badge count. I mean, there's not really much he's missing. All right, Oladipo's hot zones are totally fine. I mean, realistically, he doesn't have left corner and right corner mid, which is like whatever. He moves pretty good. His jump shot's kind of Sean Marion-like, where he releases it kind of low, which, I mean, some people don't like. I personally don't think is a problem. If you're somebody who shoots a lot of contested three-pointers, that is going to be an issue for you, so it's not really going to be the best release for that kind of play style. If you're someone who excels on getting open around screens and stuff like that, the release is more than fine. Easy to green too. I mean, I personally like this release anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I guess I'm a little bit biased on this one. I did use Diamond Oladipo for a while, and I really liked him. And I don't think anything's really changed with this card, like, altogether. Now, I'm not the biggest dribble god in the world, but he does have, good enough dribble sigs realistically. I don't like Wiggins behind the back, but it is what it is. Like, it's not terrible. And as far as his leaners and things like that, I mean, that's more applicable on next gen, but you can definitely pull up on current gen. They are going to be a little bit slower, which honestly makes it a little bit easier to green. Coming from the left side, it's about the same as the right. That's not really too crazy in regards to like every card doesn't do that. Some people's shot off the left is a little bit different. Oladipo's is relatively the same. And honestly, I could see it being really easy to green if you practice with it, just because it's slow. Some of the leaners are a little bit too fast. I think Oladipo's is really nice. You come off a screen and then you can pop really quick. Like, and it's easy to time too. I mean, especially on current gen when it comes to shooting leaners. I mean, realistically, you're just gonna have to make sure you can green it consistently. On next gen, you can kind of splash those with no issue. But if it's even a centimeter contested on current gen, like, you're gonna miss it every single time almost. Unless you have a better team than your opponent, then chances are you make it 90% of the time. End result for Victor Oladipo. Is he worth picking up? For this price at 40,000 MT, I don't believe that he is worth picking up. He does have a nice jump shot with a really, really nice release. He moves relatively well. He feels fast. Like, he can move in transition at a decent pace. Like I said, he's not going to move that well. Like, he is not a dribble guy. What you're grabbing Victor Oladipo for is lockdown defense, excellent three-point shooting with a good release, and the occasional playmaking. That's what you're grabbing him for, and if that's what you want to pick up for 40,000, by all means, absolutely. But other than that, I would leave him in the bin where he is anyway at this moment. So, as always, it's been your boy Cheap Loots. Sorry, this video is not up to par on my normal quality. I'm a little bit nervous. It's a new series. I haven't done one of these in forever.